C'era bocca di sale. Dopo? Poco dopo, va bene. Vai. No. 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 Allez, cocco.
€4,50, un po' meno, va bene signora.
Va bene.
Cos'altro?
No, solo quello.
You can't talk about Italy without talking about the food. I mean, it's at the center of the culture. It becomes very apparent to me when I spend some weeks in Puglia, especially in the summer, because we tend to spend more time during the summer when we go down. And I get to go to the market with Riccardo's mom, Maria. And I've also been spending quite a few hours in the kitchen with her, watching her cook and, you know, learning some techniques and whatnot. But the dishes themselves are not overly complicated. It's just the freshness, the quality of the produce. Things are bought in season. What you see and what you can buy during the summer will be very different than what you can purchase in the winter. And of course, like, that makes sense. There's a cycle to the food, right? But what's more, what I've come to also realize is that everything that can be used most likely will be. So for example, zucchine. In Canada, I've had a garden when I was young. I remember growing, or maybe trying to grow, zucchinis, but we would use just the actual vegetable, or is it a fruit? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just call it a vegetable. But in Puglia, it is very much a staple to use the zucchine stems and leaves, which are called cime di zucchine. And I got to spend some time in the kitchen with Maria, where she showed me how she prepares them.
Quando bolle l'acqua, le vedi? Si mette la verdura. Sì, è cotta.
So she throws on a pot with water and salt, and once the cime di zucchine have been prepped and cleaned, she'll put them in the boiling water. And when they're cooked, she takes them out. She'll throw the pasta in the same water. So that's where you'll get all of the flavors, as she says.
Quest'acqua non si butta, c'è tutto il sapore della verdura. Adesso si mette la pasta.
And she'll pair the cime di zucchine with some tomatoes that she put in some oil with some garlic, and all of that just gets added with the pasta of your choosing. I think the typical pasta in Puglia is orecchiette, but for our lunch we had some spaghetti. And the star of the show, of course, the vegetable needed to be used also. So as a secondo, we made some frittelle di zucchine, which are grated zucchinis with some flour, eggs, and parmigiano, some cheese. So all of the good stuff. It's fried in olive oil, and it is absolutely delicious.
Vedi che incominciano a farsi?
and you just top it off with some fresh ricotta that was grated onto the pasta dish. And like, honestly, it's super simple, but it was so tasty. I'm going through 4 years worth of footage of time spent in the south of Italy, in Puglia, during the summer. And one thing that I'm realizing is I turn on the camera quite often when I'm being a student, when I'm learning something. And that tends to happen in Maria's kitchen. A lot of the footage, because I'm trying right now to create a video and to stitch it all together and kind of storytell. And I don't have that many shots of the crystal clear blue waters, of the focaccia barese on the beach, of cliff diving or drinking rosé during an evening near the seaside while a DJ is just spinning the nicest lounge beats. And don't get me wrong, I do that when I go down. It's part of the memories, but what I filmed is more kind of linked to, you know, different techniques in the kitchen, cooking, ingredients, time spent with Maria. So it's all things that, looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, this and this and that. And I can take home to my own kitchen and recreate recipes or even create new ones, even though I know Italians don't like that we mess around with their cuisine. But I mean, hey, one thing that truly got me was the olive oil. Puglia is known for its olive oil, and I was super shocked when I went under Maria's staircase and saw this like gigantic, I don't even know the quantity, there were so many liters of olive oil, and their family gets one every single year. I remained really shocked the first time I tried olive oil in Italy. I had drizzled it on top of a salad. It was like a super simple salad, like green lettuce, tomatoes, a bit of lemon juice, and olive oil. It was so bitter, I threw it away. Honestly, I was not expecting it to taste like that. I thought it was the lettuce, that it somehow was the wrong type of lettuce, that I had gotten something super bitter. And no, Rika told me, he's like, that's the olive oil. I wasn't a fan at the beginning, truthfully, but now times have changed. I'm a new woman. We are, what day are we? We're past the halfway point of September. The temperature is getting colder, and so it's such a contrast to be filming this video, editing the Summers in Puglia video. I thought it would be fun to create a bowl reminiscent of the souvenirs, the memories of Summers in Puglia. And so I was just here drafting kind of like how I could create something. So I want to use things that I mostly have already at home, but I think I definitely will have to go to the market to get a few things. So the base, I was thinking some kind of cereal, and I thought, or like grain, I should say, and I was thinking farro would be perfect, but I thought I had some and I don't. However, I have a bunch of quinoa, actually from a company that is based in Andria in Puglia. So I guess even if quinoa is imported, it could, I mean, I bought it in Puglia, so we'll do with that. So I'll do the base quinoa. And then I definitely want to use the sun-dried tomatoes in oil that Maria made me this summer. They are like the little cherry tomato ones, so they're like even more flavorful. And because she made them and they're in olive oil, I also want to use some of that into the bowl. Then I was thinking for greens, I have some fresh tomatoes, but I don't know if I'm already using sun-dried. I think I'm gonna bypass the fresh ones. I do have some arugula, which I think would be perfect. And then maybe use a zucchini. I will grill it, I think, just to like, I don't know, add different types of textures and flavors. And then for the star of the show, that's kind of what I'm missing and I have to go get. I mean, I can't do a Puglia summer inspired bowl without including fresh mozzarella. We'll see what the store has in store, I guess. It could be a hit or it could be a miss. We'll check that out. So that would be kind of the protein, I guess. And yeah, we'll just kind of do what we have, and then I will go get mozzarella and let's see how it turns out. These are the sun-dried tomatoes that I must include. I've been dying to use these. I have 2 jars, but like, oh, it's literally luxury. I found what I was looking for. I'm not sure if this is like top-notch quality for mozzarella, but it's from Puglia. It's, I mean, we'll see. So I got, and because I'm gonna eat this bowl for lunch, I'm going to leave it out, not put it in the fridge. I see Maria do this all the time, so I'm assuming that you don't want like out of the fridge cold cheese. You want it to be a little bit more room temperature, and we'll see how that goes. So mozzarella acquired. Then I needed eggs, and one thing that I think is quite interesting I know in Italy, I'm not sure in Europe, I saw that on a Slow Food Italia post, which is like super interesting. I'm sorry if you hear kids and dogs and people. It's lunchtime in Italy, so chaos. Like I came back just in time. So kids finished school and are heading home for lunch. But what I wanted to say about the eggs is that each egg has numbers, and each number obviously means something. But the thing that's really interesting is the first number on the egg. So if you look, for example, this one, you'll see that the first number is 0, and that represents the way that the chickens were raised. So 0 means it's like the best you can get. Like they are out in fields and they are, I guess, like free to roam around. And I'm not sure if it like means grass-fed, or it's really about the way of raising the chickens. And then 3 being like the worst one, which means like they would be in smaller spaces, most likely cages. And yeah, so I think like that's really cool to be able to know that information and then purchase your eggs in consequence. And then the numbers following after will be like where they're from. So for example, the code after would mean Italy, and then after the region or like the specific location where it's from. And then it's fascinating to me the marketing behind it, because if you look at a packaging, you know, you'll notice sometimes they just create designs that make it look really green, really like eco-friendly kind of thing, and the code is 3. So it's just kind of like, having that information, I think, makes a world of a difference, and you don't get trapped into marketing tactics. So yeah. Then I got taralli. It's not the best, honestly. They're not like the quality taralli that you will get in Puglia or that are made like in a bakery, but I thought it would be interesting to have it as a topping for the bowl. So like kind of crumble it on top and just have a little bit of a crunch. So we'll see how it goes. So I got these, they looked decent in my opinion. And then it was definitely the end of zucchini season. There were a few left and I got one. It means the summer's over. So let's see what this, oh my gosh. Oh, that is so good. I think I want to put a little bit of lemon zest in here. My zester isn't the best, but let's see. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yep. Pour la pièce de résistance. I'm also going to add a little bit of this olive oil with lemon to the mix. And to top it all off, we're going to add the taralli. Let's take the first bite together. So I need a little bit of everything. The cheese, the grilled zucchinis, quinoa, and arugula. All right, let's try this. It's a mess, but I love it. Oh my goodness. Wow, chef's kiss. I'm the chef. So good, so fresh. That lemon zest, the bitterness of the arugula, the freshness of the mozzarella, the star of the show, the sun-dried tomatoes. Honestly, like, these are so good. So I'm going to take this bowl and get to my computer and edit the rest of this video that you're watching. And I'm going to leave you on a little montage of what I think is kind of interesting to see. So at the end of summer, Rika's family usually make a batch of passata, which is tomato sauce. I mean, it's literally just pressed tomatoes, and they make a batch for the whole year. So it was quite the process. I got to kind of film it, document it a few years back when I was living in Pugliese, and it was super interesting. And ever since then, like, I was never one that bought in stores back in Canada passata, or in French it's coulis de tomate. But now I make just about any sauce for pasta, for pizza. With this, you get to really add whatever it is that you want to the sauce, and I don't know, it's just so much better instead of buying the store-bought sauces that have all of the toxic additives. But anyways, that's another conversation for another day. So I'm going to leave you on the passata making process. I'm gonna go finish this. I'm starving. I didn't have breakfast because I knew I was making this today. It's a nice portion, so I'm gonna indulge, and hopefully I get to see you in the next video. Ciao ciao, bisous bisous.